Hi, my name is Eva Strawbridge. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics here at James Madison University, and today I'm going to be talking about preparing my online Math 231 course. So Math 231 is calculus with an introduction to pre-calculus. So for this course, what I did was I incorporated the ideas that students needed to approach mathematics from multiple avenues in order to really understand it. So first, they would read the textbook and then complete quizzes. And these quizzes were in the Canvas environment, so it would automatically grade them. So I would design the quizzes and specifically assign small sections of reading for them. Then I would have them watch online videos, which I had created in an iPad application called Explain Everything. So these videos, I would walk them through the process of solving different examples, as well as explaining definitions and giving examples and counterexamples to different statements. The point of this was to show them how to get at determining whether a statement was true or false, and once you know if the statement is true or false, coming up with an example to show it is false, or an example illustrating when it might be true. After these videos, they would again take online quizzes, which I had designed in Canvas, to test their knowledge, to make sure that they were paying attention. So in this instance, they've been doing reading and listening to videos, so essentially math story time. After this, they would then have to complete computational assignments. So these computational assignments were given in WebWork, which is a nice online system for mathematics because it isn't dependent on the form in which a student inputs an answer. What I mean by this is, for example, if a student's answer to a problem is the line y equals 2x plus 3, the student could have written that as y equals 2x plus 3 or y equals 2x plus 1 plus 2, because WebWork actually evaluates the numerical value of the answer that they've given instead of the format, so it's not dependent on format. After they've done these computational assignments, so they've read, and then they have listened, and now they've done some computation, they've done some practice. They then had to write. So the process of writing is very different from computing something. Students very often will be able to follow a procedure, but then once they've done that procedure, they don't necessarily know why they did it or why certain things worked. So at this point, they need to explain. So they need to communicate this back to me or back to their classmates. So they would do this writing both in online sort of discussions and also through electronic homework assignments in something called Overleaf. So Overleaf is a web-based application for writing in mathematics. And the great thing about this is it's kind of like Google Docs in that you can share these documents. So they could share it with me and I could go on and look at what they've done, and they could also share it with each other. So that means that they can share what they're thinking about, the actual process of writing, and then also how they're actually formatting things. Format is important in basically all sciences in so much as it helps or hinders communication, and so I very much try to communicate that to them. If they need to tell me why something is true, then they need to communicate that clearly, not just provide some sort of computation. So once they've written these, they submit them to me, and I would try to give them feedback within 48 hours. So that meant that I would try and look at their homeworks, and then I would give them written feedback, but then I would also create audio, visual feedback for each one of their assignments. So for each student, I would again use Explain Everything, and I would talk to them basically as I'm marking up their assignments to explain what they did was where they did what and where their assignments did very well and where they made mistakes, and then try and show them how to make it better. So after they've done these written assignments, their next task was to do both computational and written exams. So every week they would do these computational and written exams. So every day during the 1-month summer course, they had something due. And whether that something was a homework or an exam varied depending on the day. So that meant that they had 4 exams per month. And being able to give them feedback within 48 hours made a big difference. The first time they submitted written homework, they didn't really understand what it is that they were doing or what it was that was asked of them, even if I had explicitly stated how that they should answer a question. But after this iterative process of communication, they actually got quite a bit better. And by the end of the 4 weeks, their writing was actually excellent. And so when I say their writing was excellent, I mean that their ability to communicate mathematics and communicate what they did and did not understand had gotten to be very, very good. So this is what I did for my online Math 231 course, which is Calculus with Integrated Pre-Calculus. And if you have any questions about what I did or how I used the resources I used, such as Overleaf or Canvas, please feel free to email me at strawem@jmu.edu.